This is a Revise With Me video on solving equations. All these questions, they're going to start easy and work their way up into harder questions where you'll eventually have an unknown on both sides, okay? So if you want to skip ahead, skip ahead. Okay, with all of these, you need a value for your letter. That means we basically want to make it the subject. We need a value for it. So with this one, first one, we've got 4 times g is 12. So when 4g like this, it means 4 times g is 12. And basically, it doesn't matter what that letter is. It's a g, it's an x, it's a question mark. We just need to solve it. So 4 times something is 12, and we know 4 times 3 is 12, so g is therefore 3. So starting easy. Next one, something, take away 3 is 8. So this unknown, and I take away 3 and I'm left with 8. So you can do that off the top of your head. You know you've got to do the opposite here. So we're just going to add 3. So 8 add 3 gives us 11. So 11 take away 3 gives us 8. Next one, something, add 5 is 7. So you've got a number, this unknown, because we can replace numbers with letters and letters with numbers. Something, add 5 gives me 7. I know that something is 2, because I just do the opposite here. Take away 5, and I get 2. Same with this one. I've got something, plus 7 is 4. So I've got a number, and then I add 7, and I'm left with 4. So this is going to be a negative number, okay? So we're going to do the opposite of adding 7. So I'm going to take away 7. So I got 4, I'm going to take away 7, and I'm left with minus 3. Now this, x over 4 is 7. This means a lot of people don't use their common sense and know that a fraction is a divide. So this means x divided by 4 is 7. So something divided by 4 is 7. Opposite of dividing is times. So I'm going to do 7 times my 4, which is 28. So 28 divided by 4 is 7. Same thing again. So we've got something divided by 2 is 10. Opposite of dividing by 2 is to times by 2. So 10 times 2 leaves me with 20. Okay, we're going a little bit harder now. So that was all one-step equations. These are all going to be two-step equations. So I've got 2 times w. Take away 1 is 13. So I read it across. I do 2 times the w. Then I would take away 1 gives me 13. So I want to do this 1 first. I want to do the opposite of taking away 1. So I want to add 1 first. And I'd be left with 2w. 13 add 1 is 14. So I've got 2 times something is 14. Well, 2 times 7 is 14. So you've got one more step before you do your times in and divided. Next one, 3 times something and then add 4. I'm left with 22, not 24. So I first want to get rid of the 4. So I want to do the opposite of that, and I want to take away 4. So I'm going to do 22, take away 4. So I'm left with 3y on this side, and 22 take away 4 is 18. And then 3 times what is 18? Well, 3 times 6 is 18, so y equals 6. Okay, just like before, this means c divided by 2. Then I add my 3 and I get 10. So I want to get rid of the 3 first. So I want to take away 3. So I've got c divided by 2 is 7. So something divided by 2 is 7. So opposite of divided is to times by 2. So 7 times 2 is 14. So solving equations is all about doing the opposite. Alright. This one. 10 times y, and then minus 3 is 24. So I want to get rid of this minus 3 first. So I do the opposite of minus 3, which is to add 3. So I'm left with 10y, 27, just get 24 add 3 is 27. And then I want to do divide by 10, because this means 10 times y. So y is 2.7. You should know how to divide by 10. Okay, next one we've got 8 times w. Then I'm adding 20 and I'm left with 4. So I want to do the opposite of adding 20. So I want to take 20 away. So I'm left with 8w is, we're going to have a minus here because 4 take away 20 is minus 16. So then 8 times what is minus 16, so w is going to be minus 2. Okay, a little random straightforward one. So 12 take away what is 5. We know 12 take away 7 is 5, so y is 7. Don't know why that random one is in there. Okay, next one. We've got 18. Subtract 4a equals 2. So normally I would get rid of the thing first that's not attached to my 4. So we can do that if you want to, but you be careful because you're still left with the minus 4a. So if I get rid of the 18, so I'm going to take away 18. So I'm left with minus 4a. Then I've got 2. Take away 18 is minus 16. So I've got minus 4 times something is minus 16. So this is going to be, we know 4 times 4 is 16, and we need that to be a positive in order to get a negative. Another way to do it would be if we had the minus 4a equals 2, it'd be to make this positive by adding it on this side. So we could be left with 18 is 2 plus 4a. Then get rid of your 2 if you're more comfortable, not if you don't like working with negatives. So then we take away our 2. So we got 16 is 4a, and then 4 times what is 16? A is 4. So if you don't like working with negatives, take it on the other side, make it a positive. Okay, so this one we've got 2 times something, then I take away 8, and I'm left with 14. So the first thing you want to do is get rid of that minus 8 by doing the opposite and adding it. So I'll be left with 2e is going to be 22, because we've got 14, add 8 gives me 22. Now we've got 2 times what is 22, so e is going to be half of that, so which is 11. So we just divide by 2 here. Okay, so this is in a fraction. Don't forget the fraction means divide. So I've got all of w plus 3, all of that, so all of it, all of that in brackets. Then I divide by 4, gives me 6. Now, we need this to stay in brackets, so we're going to get rid of the 4 first by timesing it by 4. So opposite of dividing is times, so I'm going to do 6 times 4. So you'll be left with w plus 3 is 6 4s are 24. So now you've just got w, add 3 is 24. So what add 3 is 24, so just take away 3 and you're left with 21. So careful when you've got fractions. Don't forget it means divide. And all of this needs to be together, so you can't take away the 3 first because it's trapped on top of your fraction. Okay, you can do this next one a couple of different ways. I know a lot of you like to expand your brackets. I'm going to do it 2 different ways for you. So if you did want to expand your bracket, 3 times y gives me 3y. 3 times 4 gives me 12, and because it's a plus, I put a plus. and that equals 24. Now just like the other ones, so I'm going to take away 12 first. So I've got 3y, 24 take away 12 is 12. 3 times what is 12? So y is 4. No, why have they... Oh, that freaked me out then. It says w there, that should say y. Different way to do it, which is a little bit quicker. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, depending on if you've got decimals or very small numbers. This means 3 times all of that is 24. So the first thing you could do is divide by 3 to get rid of your 3. So you would have y plus 4. 24 divided by 3 is 8. And now you've just got something plus 4 is 8, which is 4. Okay, so you can divide by this number to start with if you need to. So I'll do this one again both ways. I'll do this way first. So we can divide by 5 first because it means 5 times all the brackets. So if I divide by 5, I get 2y plus 7. 20 divided by 5 is 4. Now I can subtract 7. So I got 4 subtract 7 is minus 3. Oh, this is not a nice one. And then y is minus 3 over 2. Or you can see that minus 1.5. 1.5, however you want to write it. All those are equivalent. So it doesn't matter. If you were to expand it first, you've got 5 times the 2y, which is 10y. 5 times the 7, which is 35, and I've got equals 20, so I can subtract my 35 first. So I can subtract 35, so I'm left with 10y is minus 15. So I got 20 take away 35 is minus 15, and then divided by 10, you should know you just need to move your decimal point, which is minus 1.5, which is the same thing I got over here. Right, these are going to be the harder ones where we've got an unknown on both sides. Can you see here I've got a W and a W? I've got 2 unknowns. This means I can't simply get rid of my 3 and then divide by 7 because I've got this W over here. So the first step when you've got 2 unknowns is to get rid of your smallest one. So the smallest one here is the 5. So I first want to subtract the 5w. Okay, so from the w, so I got 7w, subtract 5w leaves me with 2w. This 3 stays there, so I've still got plus 3. Those 5w's cancel each other out, and I'm just left with positive 9. So I've got 2w plus 3 equals 9. Now I can, like normal, subtract my 3. So I've got 2w equals 6. And then 2 times what is 6? W is going to be 3. Okay, so this one, you want to expand your bracket first because these can't divide by 5 over here. So we're going to do 5 times the y, which is 5y, and 5 times the minus 2, which is minus 10. And this side stays the same. So again, you want to get rid of your smallest y. So I want to subtract 5y, so those will cancel each other out, and I'll do 7y, take away 5y, which is 2y. 6 stays there, so plus 6. They cancel each other out, so I've just left with minus 10 on this side. Don't forget that minus, it belongs to that 10. Right, so now I'm going to get rid of the plus 6 by subtracting it. So I'm left with 2y minus 10 minus another 6 is minus 16. So 2 times what is minus 16? Just do 2 times what is 16? 8. And then stick a minus in front, so it would be minus 8. Okay, again with this one we're going to need to expand our bracket because this can't be divided by 4. So we got the 4 times the 2x gives me 8x. 4 times the minus 5 gives me minus 20, and this side just stays the same. So again, pick your smallest x and get rid of it, so subtract it. So I'm going to do minus 5x to cancel that out, and I'm going to take away 5x from the 8x, which leaves me with 3x. This minus 20 stays there, and they've cancelled each other out, so 5 take away 5 is nothing, so I'm left with positive 4. So same thing as normal now, so I'm going to get rid of my 20 by adding it. So I'm left with 3x, 4 add 20 is 24, and then 3 times what is 24? 3 times 8 is 24. Okay, next one. We're going to have to expand both sides for this one. So we're going to do 2 times the 2x, which is 4x, and 2 times the 1, which is 2. Next one, 3 times the x is 3x, and 3 times the 4 is 12. So I've got minus because it's minus. Just like the ones above, get rid of your smallest x. So this is my smaller number, so I'm going to subtract it. So I'm going to subtract 3x from both of my x's. So 4x subtract 3x leaves me with x, so I've just got x, 1x. We don't normally write the 1. Plus the 2 stays the same. They cancel each other out, and that leaves me with minus 12. Don't forget that minus, it belongs to the 12, not the 3. We've got rid of that one. So I've got something plus 2 is minus 12. So I want to get rid of that 2 by subtracting it. So minus 12 minus another 2 gives me minus 14. So x is minus 14. Oh, I think that's it.